Hello, achievers. How are you? Welcome back to my channel, Angelique Achievers Show. And here we talk about relationships, we talk about personal development, we talk about healing, we talk about transformation, and we become achievers. We don't just talk about being achievers, but we become achievers. Today, our topic is on relationships. As I had promised, we were going to talk about relationships, even though we have missed two videos, two episodes, but no worries, we will still catch up. Our topic of the day is identify. How do we identify and break from unhealthy relationships? How do we identify these patterns? And how do we break from these patterns? Because some people end up, dating the same person in different bodies, one person in different bodies. So you leave this relationship and get to another and wonder, why do they just look the same? I know many of you have heard of people saying all men are the same, all women are the same. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth. We know deep down in our hearts, in our minds, that there are people that are so totally different from what we identify with, especially when it comes to painful relationships or toxic relationships. Relationships can be a source of joy, they can also be a source of pain. What have relationships done for you? Have they caused pain or have they caused joy? For me, I know some of you have seen my story. And for me, relationships have caused so many things, not just joy and pain, but confusion, um, that unclarity. You're not clear, you don't know what you want, you don't know where you have so many things. If I start talking about them, we will never finish. So allow me to go. I will share my story on this platform soon. So there are so many people who go through painful situations or the same painful experiences just because they are attracting the same pattern. So you need to ask yourself, why why do I go through what I go through? Why do I attract the people I attract in my life? What is it in me that needs to be healed? Because until you heal what has hurt you, you will continue bleeding on people who never hurt you. So until you heal that wound, that emotional wound, that mental wound from within, deep down you, if you don't heal that wound, then you will never really heal. You will continue hurting other people. Hurt people, hurt others. We all know that. So what are these relationship patterns? These are repeated and emotional responses. They are repeated behaviors. They are repeated choices of the people that we choose in our lives, and we make them because we go through because of things that we have gone through, especially in our upbringing. When we are dealing with people who took care of us, or when you were being brought up, you went through life with people who have maybe you have now grown and you have very different kinds ways of thinking. So childhood traumas, things that we went through when we were growing up, it may not even necessarily mean that they were meant to hurt you. Like somebody who was molested when they were children. I'm not even talking about that. Although yes, it matters a lot. But I'm talking about those who brought you up, our parents. They are different. They did their best. And even us as parents, we are also hurting our children in ways that we may not know. We don't know. There are things that we can never have it right 100%. There are things that our children will have to sit down and and heal from what we put them through. Because generally, the biggest bully of a child is a parent who is not healed. So if you're a parent and you have parts of you that have not been healed, I think you need to ask yourself, how do I heal from this? Because it's going to be transferred to your children in one way or another. It may be a totally different experience from what you experienced, and a totally different outcome from the way you turned out to be. But it's good to heal yourself. It's good to keep asking ourselves, taking audit of ourselves, of our lives, to realize those parts of us that have been broken, so that we heal them, so that we don't hurt our children in return. Because remember, hurt people hurt others, including our children. Our past relationships also contribute a lot to the choices that we make, especially the relationships that we made when we were younger. And for people who started dating before the age of 25, we are, let me say we, because I fall there. So we have a lot more to heal, because there is a bar we had set about relationships when you were young, and most likely the person you dated when you were in your early 20s, they never turned out to be your husbands. So there are things that were put in you that time, and your mind was still growing, and the mind became accustomed, and your subconscious mind picked these things before it was mature. So getting out of them is usually not easy. There is also cultural beliefs, those things that we believe, like women are supposed to be this way, men are supposed to be this way, women cannot do this, men cannot do that. Some of the things that are quite controlling, and we tend to follow them blindly. We tend to follow them because they were passed down to us culturally. They were passed down to us not because we were told to do them or not, but because we have observed them being done by others, or you know. So we tend to see that this is the right thing. This is how things are done. So, what are those signs? How do you recognize that you have been having patterns in your life that that are not the right patterns, or that need to be done away with? Look at your behaviors first. You need to look at how you behave. Look at what really caused the pain. Some years back, I think when I wasn't healed, of which, healing is a journey. When I can say that I'm still healing, so I can't say that I'm 100% healed. There are times I go back, I find myself going back down the memory lane, and I find myself, getting lost somehow. And because of self awareness, maybe it's easier for me to bring myself out, or out of that pit, before it's dug too deep. So you feel emotionally exhausted, you feel dissatisfied by the relationship itself, by life itself, by things. You start craving for things that are not there. So some of the things we go through, or we can observe, are things like overgiving. You give too much, and you self sabotage. So you're giving too much, and giving too much, it doesn't mean that you're generous. It could be that you're trying to abandon yourself. You're trying to run away from yourself, putting others before you at the expense of your own needs. I have done that many times. So in a way, it's like we interpret it like, I'm doing this to earn love. The reward is love. And love should not be a reward. Love should be just love. Should just exist. It's not supposed to be a reward for anything. We don't give love to receive back anything. We give love because it's supposed to be given, not because we are supposed to be receiving anything. The second reason why you might be in or the second thing to observe to show that you are in patterns, romantic patterns especially, is emotional avoidance. You avoid conflicts, you avoid deep conversations. When somebody brings up a topic that requires seriousness, you tend to step aside, you tend to withdraw, you tend to bring an excuse, or even sometimes with narcissistic behaviors, you tend to insult the other person because they have brought up a topic that needs to be addressed. So you're avoiding emotional, uh, that emotional attachment. You are avoiding emotionally, so emotional avoidance. And then you can also be the fixer. You look at life like, I'm here to fix something. And when you fix, you feel good. Human beings, we feel good when we fix something. We feel good when we solve a problem. And I think that's why God created problems. Or, I don't know, God put us here. Let me just put it that way. That's why God put us here, so that we can solve problems. That's why businesses that are out to solve problems always thrive. So you could be, maybe you're in this relationship because you're feeling like you need to solve something. There's something that you feel, if I don't solve this problem, then nobody will. But that's not true. Sometimes it's not. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. You cannot be the rescuer. And again, rescuing people, adults, when you put yourself out there as a rescuer, you are setting yourself up for failure. That's why we have coaches, that's why we have psychologists, psychiatrists. But you are not a life coach in your relationship. And even life coaches like myself, I cannot be a life coach in my relationship. I'll be getting lost, and I'll be also misdirecting the person that I'll be dating. So it's wrong. Don't do it. Don't be the doctor. Don't be the healer. That's something that is meant for the right people. You could be that you have been in cycles of toxicity. There's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of manipulation, there's a lot of control and betrayal in that relationship. So it feels like you're dating a different person, but the pain is still the same. Why? It's not like these people grew up in the same environment. That's why they turned out to be the same. Even brothers don't turn out to be the same, or sisters don't turn out to be the same. So it could be that you could be in that situation where there's a lot of toxicity, and you keep on going back to that toxicity because you kind of are attracted to toxicity. Maybe you need to ask yourself, what is it in me that attracts these things, that attracts this toxicity? So, why do we repeat these patterns? Why do we really find ourselves repeating these patterns? Number one is because we have been programmed unconsciously. Your mind has been programmed. Remember what I was saying about dating from an early age, early experiences, they shape your mind, they program your mind. So the experiences you had when you were young, you tend like your mind has already been programmed into that. and you tend to start attracting those kind of things or going for those kind of behaviors and those kind of things. That's why people who begin drugs and alcohol before 25 years, they end up being alcoholic, they end up being drug addicts, because their mind was programmed before it could mature enough, before it could become of age. We also feel familiar. You're feeling familiar. Another reason why we tend to go back to the same pattern is because comfort. This is our comfort zone. This is our comfort um, place. This is our place of familiarity. We are used to this one, so we don't know any other way of living. We don't know a better way of living or a different way of living. So we end up attracting and going for the same patterns, because that is what we are used to. That is our normal life, and we stay comfortable. We don't change all these patterns, because that's who we are. That's what we know, and we are attracted to what we know. We don't want to go for what we do not know. We stay attracted to what we don't know. Then you have unhealed wounds. There are those wounds that and traumas that happened to you, things that happened to you, and you've not healed them. So if you have unhealed trauma, then you will always go through, you'll always find triggers that lead into those similar situations. So there will be hidden triggers that you cannot see. They're just blind corners that we are not aware of. There's somebody called Carl Jung. He said, until you make the conscious conscious, the unconscious conscious, sorry, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Think about that. Until the unconscious becomes conscious, you will always be directed by that thing that controls that mind of yours unconsciously, because you're not conscious about it. And until you heal that unconsciousness to consciousness, it will direct your life and you'll always call it fate. And you'll keep asking yourself, why me? Why do I have to be the one going through all this? Why am I the one who, why, yeah. Ask yourself, why am I in these patterns? It is all about the programmed mind, the unconscious mind. So, how do we heal then these things? How do we break from these unhealthy patterns? How do we heal? First of all, the first step is awareness. You cannot heal what you don't know. So you have to notice the triggers. You have to notice what really happens before. So you go back down memory lane and ask yourself, what has been going on before I begin or I get myself in this situation? What situations upset me the most? How do I usually react when I'm upset? What kind of people, what kinds of people am I drawn to? If you're not free enough with yourself, because sometimes we are so scared of ourselves, we cannot even spend a minute alone. So when we are alone, we are scrolling. When we are, if we are not out there somewhere where there are people, we are just doing something crazy, because we are avoiding to stay with ourselves. So those triggers, you have to notice them, bring them into awareness, and then you need to look at the root cause. What is the root cause? So ask yourself again, how was my childhood? How was my childhood? A past betrayal that I went through, did I heal that part? a belief about my worth. Maybe somebody said something and made you unconsciously believe that you're not worthy, you amount to nothing, and then you've picked it. So, what is that belief in you that is very limiting that you need to bring into awareness and heal it? So now, when you discover these things, you can find ways of healing. So do not be afraid to uncover these things, to bring the shell out, and then you bring it out, the pain out, to see what really lies within. Because there are so many solutions. There's therapy, there's coaching, there's practicing self-compassion, there's positive self-talk, there's meditation, there's prayer, connecting with God, seeking first the kingdom of God. And when you do so, everything else is added unto you. So there are many ways we can heal. Healing tools are there. So don't be afraid to uncover those things. And those who have attended therapy sessions, you know what happens. You are taken down memory lane to uncover that painful moment that you went through. And then you need to set boundaries, healthy boundaries. Boundaries protect your energy and they protect your emotional safety. So they protect you emotionally and they also protect your energy. So the right energy can come out because some people don't know how to keep boundaries. They keep up overstepping. They keep on, you know, poking their nose in the wrong places, on the places they are not welcome. So those places that don't need to be touched by anyone else, create a boundary, not a wall, not a brick wall, because a boundary is not a wall. A boundary is a place for mutual respect. It's a place where we say, I know this is your space for you to think. I know I cannot get beyond this. This is your space. This is so people respect that. That's part of life. That part of you. So they are not supposed to overstep. And then you need to rewrite your love script. You need to rewrite that love script. You need to rewrite what you went through as a child. You need to rewrite that story. Everybody has a story, but we all have a choice to rewrite it the way we want it to be. So you can say, instead of believing in what you already believe, you can say, I am going to rewrite my story, and this is what I'm going to believe in. If you're looking to get married, have visions and photos and movies of romantic, relationships or romantic movies. Have something different that is going to change your mind into the way it's supposed to be. So being now in the consciousness. So have that conscious mind. You have to choose consciously to look at life and relationships differently. Ask yourself, what do I truly value? What are those things I truly value in my life? What does a healthy, fulfilling relationship look like? A healthy relationship, how does it look like? According to your own rules. So you set your own rules, not rules that were set by um, our caregivers, not rules that were set by life and, I don't know, the society and people that we dated before. And so you have your own script of how relationships look like. And then you need to start making choices that align with the healed you. Choices that not with your wounds, choices that align with the healed you, not choices that align with your wounds like you have been before. And that's why the patterns. And then reflecting, You need to keep reflecting and think of the last three significant relationships in your life. Three significant relationships. I know there's those who have had 20. So please, those who got married, happily married in their 20s, leave us alone. So we are, leave us alone. We are dealing with our own wounds. We're not living with your whatever it is. So this is now for us who have not been in like marriage, or they are not dating and they maybe you want to get back into the dating circle. So think of the last three relationships that you have had in your life. Identify one pattern. In those three relationships, there is a pattern. You know, for these relationships to have failed, you have contributed into their failure. Whether you were the right one or not, whatever happened, happened, but you contributed, probably by how you reacted to their stupidity, how you reacted to their ignorance, how you reacted to their cheating, how you reacted to whatever it is that you reacted to. So, how you handled the situation made you, I don't know, contribute somehow negatively. So, ask yourself, how did I contribute to the failure? Identify one pattern that keeps showing up in this relationship. And then ask yourself, how has this pattern served me in the past? How has that pattern served you in the past? And how has it hurt you? How has this pattern hurt you? Write one new choice that you'll make to break this pattern. There are choices you can take, you can do. So ask yourself, what is that one choice? Because there is something you did that led to maybe you being treated the way you were treated, or these people doing what they did for you to react the way they reacted, or I don't know, something. Just ask yourself, what are those new choices that I need to make? I'll give you some few takeaways. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. What does this mean? You have to acknowledge, you have to bring it to awareness first. You have to bring it to awareness that it's not that all men are bad, it's not that all women are bad. It's because it's just that I need to discover what are these patterns that I need to look at, and what was my contribution into this. What did I feel? How did I react? And all these things that we've just said. So you bring it to awareness. To acknowledge that you have been in a pattern of relationships that do not serve you. The next one is that you need to heal. Healing is a personal responsibility. So you need to heal. And healing is a personal responsibility. Nobody can come to tell you to heal you. If you went through something because your parents treated you in a certain way or raised you in a certain way, for them to come and apologize means nothing. It means nothing. Until you work from within, that's when your healing can come out. So whether they sing to you that they are sorry, or and maybe they will never even know that they wronged you because they did their best according to what they had, the situation they were in, and the knowledge they had. They were doing their best to take care of you, to bring you up. So even if you go to them and tell them, I discovered this and this, and this is what you did to me, and this is how it made me become this, is you are not helping in any way. You're not helping. So healing is your responsibility. That girl within, from within, that girl within that still needs some raising, it is you to go and parent that girl. So healing is a personal responsibility. Healing relationships begin with self awareness and self love. Sometimes we don't even love ourselves enough. We judge ourselves, we look at our bodies and we don't like them, we don't like the way we were created, we don't like the way you sound. And what can you change? So, self awareness, being in the consciousness, and being aware that you need to love yourself, that is the first step of healing. So begin with some self compassion, self love. Choosing differently creates new outcomes. Choose differently. So when you choose differently, you are going to obviously attract differently. Let me give you one affirmation. I like giving affirmations because I believe in them. This is using your voice to speak life and positivity to yourself. Some of us, you have never had your parents speak positively to you. So what did you just live like that with the negativity in your subconscious mind? No, we have to affirm ourselves. We have to keep changing ourselves, our minds, from unconsciousness to consciousness. So affirm yourself. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of love, respect, and connection. I am worthy of love, respect, and connection. I am worthy of love, respect, and connection. I release old patterns and choose relationships that nourish my soul. I release old patterns and choose relationships that nourish my soul. I am worthy of love, respect, and connection. I release old patterns and choose relationships that nourish my soul. All right, viewers, I hope that you have learned something. I know you have learned something. See you again next time. I love you all. Peace.